In the dark future of the 41st millennium, the galaxy is a funeral pyre lit by the embers of forgotten glory. It is an age of darkness, superstition, and unending slaughter, ruled by a corpse god clinging to a throne of gold, his will enforced by 1 trillion souls screaming in silent servitude. This is the Imperium of man, a rotting edifice of cruelty and dogma, besieged from all sides by the alien, the heretic, and the demon. It endures not through hope, but through sacrifice, not through strength, but through the sheer unyielding weight of its fanaticism. And in this galaxy defined by hatred, there is only one currency that retains any value. It is not coin, nor power, nor life. It is the oath. The oath is the unseen architecture of the Imperium. It is the chain that binds the trembling guardsman to his lass rifle. It is the bloody pact that seals the Inquisitor's decree. It is the dying whisper of a martyr promising vengeance. But for one manner of man, the oath is something more. It is not merely a promise, it is his genesis. It is his armor. It is the divine logic programmed into his very soul. We speak of the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines. They are not men. They are angels of death forged in agony and psycho-indoctrinated for a singular brutal purpose, to be the Emperor's wrath made manifest. From the moment a mortal aspirant survives the trials, his old self is scoured away, replaced by a living weapon. He is encased in ceramite, his blood remade, his organs multiplied. He becomes a transhuman demigod capable of weathering firepower that would vaporize a mortal regiment, capable of thoughts faster than bullets, capable of a loyalty that transcends reason itself. This loyalty is not a choice. It is a cage of steel. From the black floor of the Reclusium, kneeling before the skeletal gaze of his chaplain, the neophyte swears his first oath. He swears to the Emperor, a god he will never see. He swears to his Primarch, a genetic father long dead or damned. He swears to his chapter master, a figure as distant as a star. He swears to his battle brothers, the only family he will ever know. He swears oaths of obedience, oaths of vigilance, oaths of hatred. These words are hammered into his mind. They are carved onto his armor. They are woven into the coded liturgy of his bolt gun. His armor is not just protection, it is a reliquary of vows. The purity seal is not decoration. It is a physical shackle, a reminder of a promise to hold a line, to slay a beast, to never ever retreat. The Imperium demands victory. The chapter demands perfection. But the Space Marine demands something more of himself. He demands the infallibility of his word. For a mortal man, failure is common. It is human. He may fail, repent, and be redeemed or executed. His soul, flawed as it is his own. But for a Space Marine, failure is heresy. It is a spiritual poison. It is a fissure in the divine machine. We ask, in this universe of absolute, unblinking judgment, what happens when this perfect weapon breaks? What happens when the vow stronger than adamantium finally cracks? What happens when a Space Marine fails his oath? The answer is not death. Death is a mercy reserved for the faithful. The answer is not defeat. Defeat is a temporary state to be rectified with vengeance. The answer is a descent, a cold, meticulous, and agonizing unraveling of the very fabric of his being. The Imperium has no mechanism for forgiveness. It has only tools for purgation. When an Astartes fails, he does not face a court. He faces a terrifying, precise calculus of damnation. His failure is not a private shame. It is a systemic threat, a contagion that must be isolated, studied, and cauterized by flame, by pain, or by an eternity of hollow service. This is not a story of heroes. It is an anatomy of judgment. It is the chronicle of what happens when the Emperor's finest tool is found wanting. In the grim darkness of the far future, failure is not an option. It is the beginning of hell. Chaplain Vox amplified a low rumble. You are nothing. Your past life is a dream, faded upon waking. Your name is dust. Your blood is the property of the chapter. You are a vessel, empty, aching to be filled. You come to us with nothing, and we shall forge you into everything. This is the rite of fire, the first crucible. The neophyte's gaze is fixed upon the chaplain's Crozius arcanum, the eagle-winged staff pulsing with latent power. He has been starved for 3 days, his mind honed to a razor's edge by litanies of obedience. He is ready to swear the first, the greatest, and the most terrible of all oaths. Chaplain, you will be broken. You will be remade. But first you must swear. Swear allegiance not to your brothers, not to your chapter, but to him on earth. Swear your soul to the master of mankind. Neophyte voice, young but steeled, I swear. Chaplain, speak the words. Let them be the foundation of your soul. Neophyte. I, brother Neophyte, Theron, do hereby pledge my mind, my body, and my spirit to the eternal service of the God Emperor of mankind. I renounce all ties of blood and kinship. I renounce all desire for self. I shall be the sword in his hand, the shield upon his arm. I shall ask no quarter, and I shall give none. I shall fear no creature, no darkness, no death, for I am his, and he is eternal. My loyalty is my armor. My faith is my strength. My life is his to command. A hot brand glowing with the imperial aquila is pressed against the neophyte's shoulder, the sizzle of flash-seared flesh. The neophyte does not scream. He does not even flinch. His jaw tightens. This is the foundation, the bedrock, the unbreakable law upon which all other vows are built. The Space Marine's loyalty to the Emperor is absolute, preempting all other thought, all other morality. It is the core of his programming, but it is only the beginning. The scene dissolves. The sound of a turning vellum page, crisp and dry, mixes with the hum of a fortress monastery's scriptorium. We see an ultramarine, his armor a brilliant blue, tracing a line of text in the Codex Astartes with his gauntleted finger. From this foundation, the chapter-specific oaths rise like pillars. Each chapter's genocide carries the memory and the burden of its primarch. A Space Marine does not just swear to the Emperor, he swears to the memory of his genetic father. For the Ultramarine, this oath is one of logic, of order, of strategy. He swears to uphold the Codex Astartes, the holy writ of Robuta Guilliman. To him, failure is not just defeat, it is disorder. It is strategic heresy. The sound changes. A faint, suppressed heartbeat, rapid and wet. The scene is a hall of red marble filled with statues of the angelic Sanguinius. A blood angel kneels, his head bowed, his fists clenched so tightly his gauntlets creak. For the blood angel, the oath is a cage. He swears to his angel father that he will master the black rage, that he will control the thirst that forever claws at his throat. He swears to remain a warrior of honor, not a beast of slaughter. His vow is a daily battle against his own blood, and he knows that one day it is a battle he is destined to lose. The sound changes again. A cold wind, the whisper of cloaks in an echoing cavernous chamber deep within the rock. A dark angel is knighted, a heavy sword tapping each pauldron. His superiors are hooded, their faces lost in shadow. Dark angel veteran whispering, Waret, swear that you will hunt the unforgiven. Swear that the shame of the First Legion will be purged. Swear that you will never forget and never forgive. For the Dark Angel, the oath is a secret, a paranoid mandate, a hunt that has lasted 10,000 years. His vow binds him to a shame that predates his own birth. While he swears loyalty to the Imperium, his truest, darkest oath is to the inner circle, a vow that demands secrecy above all else. These Primarch bonds define the soul of the chapter. They dictate how a Marine will fight and what he fears failing most. The scene shatters, the violent screaming alarm of a boarding torpedo. Red lights flash inside a cramped metal shell. A squad of Space Marines, their armor scarred and functional, check the seals on their helmets. Their sergeant, his face a roadmap of scars, slams his fist against a bulkhead map. Sergeant Vox filtered harsh. Listen up. The Inquisitor must reach the data core. He is the asset. We are the expendable shield. You will form a wall around him. You will take the bullets. You will meet the blade. He does not stop. He does not slow. That is the mission. That is the only oath that matters today. Finally, there is the battlefield oath, the oath of the moment. These are temporary, desperate, and absolutely binding. They are not sworn in cold temples, but in the hot, screaming inferno of war. A sergeant pointing to a rubble-choked doorway. Hold this position until relieved. This is not a request. It is a spiritual command. To take one step back is to break the vow. To protect a dignitary at all costs means that Marine's life is now measured only by the pulse of the man he defends. These oaths are tactical, yet their weight is absolute. The sergeant's voice again over the rising roar of the torpedo's melter charge. Sergeant, our oath is sworn in the blood of the enemy. Now light 'em up. And so the Space Marine exists encased not just in ceramite, but in a lattice of vows. He is a walking testament of obligations. His mind is a fortress, and every oath is a battlement. But even battlements forged of faith and steel can crack. Corvus Vox calm breathing, steady targeting, engaging, targeting, engaging. The line holds. Failure for a Space Marine is a complex calculus. Not all failure is sin. There is tactical failure, a battle lost despite perfect adherence to duty. This is the reality of war in a galaxy that hates mankind. Brother Corvus is holding the eastern spur against the greenskin tide. His orders were to delay the advance for 18 minutes, allowing the civilian evacuation. He has held for 34. A massive orc knob wielding a buzzing power claw smashes through the barricade. Corvus meets him. The sound of his combat knife, a meter-long adamantium blade scraping against the orc's crude armor. He ducks under a swing, fires his bolt pistol point-blank into the creature's neck, and kicks it backward. But behind it, 10 more are climbing the rubble. His bolt gun is empty. His pistol clicks dry. Corvus Vox still calm, ammunition expended, engaging with blade, for Dawn, for the Emperor. Corvus is buried under a wave of green muscle and crude metal. His last transmission is a defiant war cry, cut short by the crunch of his armor. His position is overrun. The spur is lost. This is defeat. Hours later, apothecaries retrieve his shattered body from a mound of alien corpses. He is barely alive. His second lung punctured, his arm severed. He is brought to the apothecarian. The sterile sound of medical augurs and the hiss of stimulants. Corvus awakens on a cold slab. A captain, his face grim, stands over him. He places a new, freshly consecrated gauntlet on Corvus's chest. Captain, you held. The evacuation was successful. You cost them time they did not have. You did your duty. This is acceptable failure. It is loss. It is agony. But it is not shame. His brothers see the cost, and they honor it. His armor will be repaired. His body will be rebuilt. His oath remains intact. But there are other failures. Failures born not of overwhelming odds, but of a compromised soul. The scene shifts. The dripping, fetid darkness of an underhive sewer. A squad of raptors is hunting a genestealer pack. The only sound is the drip of water, the distant skittering of claws, and the faint, near-silent hum of 5 power armor units. Brother Valerius Vox whisper contact. 0. I have nothing on Auspex. Brother Castor Vox whisper. Patience, Valerius. They are here. They wait. This is where the true cracks begin. Not in the thunder of open war, but in the silence of doubt. Brother Valerius is a veteran, but the creeping horror of the Tyrannid menace has found a resonance in his mind. A cold spot. A flicker of something mortals call fear. A sudden explosion of motion. A lictor, a chameleonic nightmare of talons and chitin bursts from a sludge-filled grate. It lands directly on Brother Castor. Castor roars, driving his knife into its shoulder, but the creature's speed is inhuman. A second lictor emerges from the shadows to Valerius's left, its feeder tendrils lashing. It is his target. Castor Vox strained Valerius' flank watch yaw. The auto-sensors in Valerius's helmet tagged the threat. His transhuman physiology processed the image, his muscles faster than any mortal's tensed to aim and fire. The bolter was in his hands. The target was clear, and Brother Valerius hesitated. For 1.3 seconds, there is only the sound of Valerius's sharp, indrawn breath over the vox. A paralysis, a failure of spirit. He sees the six-armed eyeless horror, and his training is momentarily eclipsed by a primal terror. 1.3 seconds, an eternity. The second lictor ignores Valerius. It leaps onto Caster, who is still grappling with the first. Two sets of rending claws strike as one. Caster's armor, glorious and green, is torn open like wet parchment. His scream is liquid cut short by a fountain of blood that spatters Valerius's helmet. Valerius Vox shouting a fraction too late, no. Valerius opens fire, the sudden roar of his bolter deafening in the tunnel. He obliterates both lictors in a storm of mass reactive shells. He unloads the entire clip. Then, silence. Only the dripping water and the static-laced gurgle from Caster's Vox. The threat is neutralized. The battle is won, but the oath is broken. No one saw his hesitation. The squad will report a sudden, overwhelming ambush. But Valerius knows. He knows his pause was not tactical assessment. It was cowardice. He failed his oath to his brother. He let fear rule him. This is the first invisible stain, a sin of the soul. The scene shifts again. A brightly lit forge humming with the sacred energies of the machine god. Techmarine Licinus of the Iron Hands is performing the rites of maintenance on a Predator tank's autocannon. Licinus chanting monotone, and bless the thrice-sealed casing for, it is the will of the Omnissiah. Let the coolant flow, for it is his cool logic. And then there is the third, most damning failure, a failure of discipline. Techmarine Licinus has been at war for 3 years without respite. His logic engines are frayed, he is tired. In his haste to rearm the motor pool, he recites the litany of alignment, but he skips 8 verses. He fails to properly anoint the ammo feeder with the consecrated unguent. He believes his augmetic eye is sufficient. He trusts metal, not ritual. He stamps the cannon purified and ready. This is not malice. It is negligence. It is arrogance. The slam of a tank hatch. The Predator tank Iron Will is on a firing line providing overwatch for a ground assault. A horde of chaos cultists drunk on dark promises charges the Imperial lines. Predator Gunner Vox targeting mass infantry, firing. The autocannon fires. A devastating thud, 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 thud. It scythes down the first wave. The second wave charges. The gunner fires again. Thud, thud, thud. Click, whir, clang. A sickening metallic halt. Predator Gunner Vox. Urgent misfire. Misfire, the feeder is jammed. The blessed cannon is jammed. The skipped ritual. The unanointed feeder. The machine spirit insulted has failed in the moment of need. The charging cultists, seeing the tank falter, swarm it with improvised explosives. The Iron Will is crippled, the line breaks, and the assault must be aborted. The mission is a failure. We are back in the forge. Techmarine Licinus stands before the salvaged autocannon. The mangled, jammed shell casing is held in his servo arm's pincer. It is physical proof. His failure is not a private shame like Valerius's. It is a measurable, tangible sin against steel and spirit alike. A crime of discipline. Narrator. 2 Marines, 2 failures. One of spirit, one of protocol. One visible only to himself, the other a catastrophic public disaster. Both are fissures in the armor of the chapter. Both have invited judgment. And in a chapter, all judgment begins with the cold, watchful gaze of the one who shepherds their souls. Chaplain voice deep resonant without lifting his gaze. You requested audience, Brother Valerius. You stand in the Emperor's sight. Speak only truth. The stones themselves are listening. Valerius Vox, low-strained chaplain. In the sewerways, when the Xenos struck. Chaplain, I have read the after-action report. A tragic, glorious engagement. Brother Caster's name will be inscribed on the Wall of Martyrs. He died as all Astartes should. Valerius, he died because of me. The sound of the polishing cloth stops. The chaplain slowly places the pistol on the altar. His skull helmet turns its red eye lenses, fixing on Valerius. The temperature in the room seems to drop. Valerius, the ambush was precise. The lictor designated as my kill target. I acquired it. My systems were online, my arm was steady, and I waited. Chaplain Define waited. Valerius, I felt. He chokes on the word. Fear. It was a coldness, a paralysis. It lasted 1.3 seconds. By the time it passed, Castor was dead. Valerius has come seeking absolution. But the chaplaincy does not exist to give comfort. It is not a confessional for the solace of the soul. It is a diagnostic tool. The chaplain is the chapter's physician, and his specialty is spiritual rot. He listens not to forgive, but to identify the weakness, to isolate it, and to prescribe the cauterization. Chaplain, you did not fail your aim. You did not fail your war gear. You failed your spirit. You allowed the mortal dross, the weakness our trials are designed to burn away, to resurface. You failed the Emperor by placing your own terror above the life of your brother and the sanctity of the mission. Valerius, yes, Chaplain. Chaplain, your shame is appropriate. It proves you are not yet lost, but it is insufficient. It is a symptom, not a cure. You have broken your oath of brotherhood. You will await my judgment. Leave me. Valerius performs the sign of the Aquila. His movement stiff and retreats from the chamber, the weight of the chaplain's gaze following him like a physical burden. The chaplain remains unmoving, his red eyes narrowed in thought. The chaplain is the warden of the chapter's soul. He is the first line of defense not against the Xenos, but against the insidious failures within. His judgment is swift, his methods direct. But his watch is not confined to the silence of the reclusium. His truest pulpit is the battlefield. The scene explodes into fire and shouts, a desperate defense on the wall of a hive city. Orcs are scaling the walls in a tidal wave of green. A chaplain stands on the rampart, his black armor a stark contrast to the blue of the ultramarines beside him. His Crozius Arcanum crackles with a blue-white energy field. He smashes an orc clean off the wall, its skull imploding. Chaplain Battlevokes a roaring litany. They are nothing, they are filth, an affront to his divine sight. Hold this line for the blood of Gilliman, hold this line. He fights as all Marines fight with precision and fury, but his eyes, the burning red lenses of his helmet, are constantly moving. He is not just watching the enemy. He is watching his brothers. He is watching for the slightest tremor of fear, the smallest hesitation, the first hint of a crack in the wall of their faith. A tactical Marine to his left, Brother Remus sees a monstrous orc killer Khan lumbering towards his position, its buzzsaws whining. Remus takes a half step back, his bolter lowering fractionally. It is an instinctive human reaction. It is also a sin. The chaplain sees it. Before the thought of retreat can fully form, he acts. The chaplain does not shout. He does not warn. He pivots his black-armored form a blur and strikes Brother Remus. Not with the lethal energy-wreathed head of his Crozius, but with the solid adamantium haft. The blow connects with Remus's chest plate with the sound of a hammer hitting an anvil. The Marine is thrown backward, his armor sparking. Chaplain Vox private channel, a cold hiss. You do not falter. Brother, you are an ultramarine. Die facing the enemy or you will die by my hand. Stand up. Remus coughing, his armor's alarms blaring. Yes, yes, chaplain for the Emperor. Remus scrambles to his feet, shame burning hotter than his pain, and empties his clip into the killer Khan. The chaplain has already turned away his Crozius, shattering the arm of another orc. This is the chaplain's gaze. It is omnipresent. It is merciless. It is the immediate, brutal enforcement of the chapter's vows. He is the shepherd, and his Crozius is his staff. He uses it to guide his flock, and to break the legs of any sheep that dares to stray from the one true path. Chaplain, you have failed the sacred rites. You have placed expediency above devotion. You have insulted the machine spirit. Your sin is not one of blood, but of the cog. It is arrogance, and arrogance must be scoured. A servitor, its arms ending in precise industrial tools, moves to Lysanus's left pauldron. With the grinding tool, it begins to systematically erase the holy symbol of the Iron Hands. Sparks shower the stone floor. The white hand, the symbol of his chapter and his primarch, is reduced to a cloud of fine dust, leaving only a circle of raw grey ceramite. This is the first stage of purgation, the vigil of shame. It is not a punishment of the body, but of the identity. The Space Marine's armor is his skin, his heraldry, his name. To strip it is to render him anonymous. The servitor moves on. The squad markings on his greave are blasted away. The cog-toothed skull of the Adeptus Mechanicus, which he wore with such pride, is painted over with flat, featureless black. He is no longer Tech Marine Lysanus. He is a non-entity. He is shame. Chaplain, you will kneel here in the vestibule of the very forge you have dishonored. You will not eat. You will not rest. You will hold the icon of your failure, and you will meditate upon the litany of alignment until your voice is raw and your mind is pure. Two neophytes approach carrying the mangled 30-kilogram autocannon feeder mechanism that jammed. They place the heavy, ruined piece of steel into Lysanus's outstretched arms. It is an awkward, painful weight designed to fatigue his transhuman muscles. And so his vigil begins. He kneels on the cold iron grill of the forge entrance. His arms, locked by duty, hold the testament to his sin. He begins to pray, his voice a low, augmented monotone, reciting the 1 4 verses of the litany he skipped. The sound of heavy armored footsteps approaching and then fading. The forge vestibule is a place of traffic. His brothers must pass him. This is the true torment. Not the hunger which he can ignore. Not the pain in his arms which he can endure. It is the gaze of his peers. The first squad that passes is from his own company. They are battle brothers he has fought beside for decades. They march past, their red eye lenses fixed forward. They do not look at him. A second set of footsteps. This time it is the Predator gunner brother Valens whose tank was crippled. Valens stops. He stands for a full 10 seconds, his helmeted gaze fixed on Lysanus. He says nothing. There is no anger in his posture, no hatred. There is only disappointment. A cold, heavy disappointment that is 1,000 times worse than any curse. An Astartes is forged to be dependable. Lysanus has proven he is not. The gunner then turns the hiss of his servos an accusation and walks away. Lysanus's breathing hitches, but his posture remains iron. He continues his chant, his voice slightly louder. Lysanus, verse 4:12. Bless the holy feeder, for it is the emperor's unwavering will. Verse 4:13. Anoint the guide rail, for it is the path to righteousness. The footsteps come and go. The whispers of the forge servitors, the distant clang of hammers, the bell tolling the passage of days. 1 day, 2, 3. Still he kneels. His augmetic eye begins to flicker, its power cell running low. His biological eye is bloodshot. His arms scream in protest, the weight of the ruined metal a burning fire in his shoulders. But the shame is a greater fire still. This is the first, simplest, and most common of punishments. Isolation. Humiliation. A reminder that to be a space marine is to be part of a whole, and to fail is to be excised from it until your worthiness is proven anew. The vigil of shame is for sins of protocol, for failures of steel like that of Tech Marine Lysanus. But a failure of the soul requires a different, more visceral ablution. A sin of cowardice cannot be scoured by prayer. It must be burned away by overwhelming suicidal acts of faith. It requires blood, the enemy's or his own. Chaplain voice colder than the stone brother Valerius. You came to me bearing the stain of fear. You confessed a weakness that cost the blood of a brother. This stain cannot be washed clean by kneeling. The Imperium does not grant redemption. You must seize it from the claws of the Xenos. Valerius vox a low rumble, I ask only to serve, to prove my worth. Chaplain, you will have that chance. Service is a privilege you no longer possess. What I offer is a sentence, a new oath, An oath of penance. A hollow display flickers to life, showing a jagged, needle-like spire of scrap metal and rock. It is an orc stronghold bristling with crude cannon and sniper towers. Chaplain, this is the command bastion of Warboss Gutrippa, the beast who commands the horde you faced. His tactical know-whats are the only thing holding this warg together. A conventional assault would cost this chapter hundreds of lives, time we do not have. You will infiltrate this bastion. You will do it alone. You will face the war boss in his throne room, and you will sever his head from his body. Valerius' gaze locked on the target. It will be done. Chaplain, you misunderstand. This is not a mission of stealth. You will not have support. You will not have extraction. You are a bolt fired from the Emperor's gun aimed at the war boss's heart. Your only objective is his death. You are to carve a path of righteousness through the greenskin horde until you reach him. You will return with his head as a trophy, or you will die in the attempt, your soul's debt paid. The chaplain holds out a single unadorned purity seal. Its wax is a stark, judgmental black. The parchment is blank. Chaplain, swear it. Swear that you will cleanse your fear in their fire. Valerius slams his gauntlet onto the seal, affixing it to the bare ceramite of his chest plate. It is the only mark he now wears. Valerius, I swear, I will not fail again. The scene shatters. The scream of wind and torrential acidic rain. Valerius stands on a ridge overlooking the orc bastion. He is alone. His chainsword revs the sound, an angry promise in the night. He does not seek cover. He does not use the infiltration tactics of his chapter. He simply walks. He did not move to survive. He moved to kill. He was not a warrior. He was a judgment. He was a man with nothing left to lose, whose only purpose was to trade his life for that of his target. His shame was a fuel burning hotter than his armor's plasma reactor. An orc sentry spots him. A guttural shout, "What's dat? Get him." Crude slugger rounds the size of a man's fist hammer against his armor. He doesn't stagger. He does not even slow his pace. He raises his bolt pistol and fires 3 measured shots, each one blowing a greenskin's head apart. He has reached the gate. Valerius voks a low prayer of hate for Caster, for the Emperor. He ignites his chainsword and charges. The battle is not a duel. It is an execution. He is not fighting for glory, he is fighting for forgiveness, and he knows it can only be found at the apex of violence. He takes a whirring chopper to the shoulder, the blade screaming as it grinds on his pauldron. He doesn't block, he pivots inside the guard, slamming his combat knife up under the orc's jaw. He is a machine of pure retribution, fueled by the 1.3 seconds he wants to erase from time. The scene shifts. The heavy clang of the Reclusium doors. They swing open. Brother Valerius stands in the doorway. He is a ruin. His grey armor is shattered, blackened and punctured by a dozen gaping wounds. His left arm hangs limp. His helmet is gone, his face a mask of congealed blood, dominated by a fresh, raw gash that runs from his hairline to his jaw. He limps each step an agony. He returned on the 3rd day. He did not hail the fortress. He did not request entry. He simply appeared at the gate and collapsed, his duty done. The chaplain is waiting for him. Valerius summons his last strength. He holds up his right hand. Clutched in his gauntlet is the massive tusked head of Warboss Gutrippa. He throws it to the ground where it lands with a wet, heavy thud. It rolls, leaving a trail of black-green blood on the obsidian floor. Valerius' voice a hoarse whisper. The oath is paid. He falls to one knee, his chainsword clattering to the ground. An apothecary steps from the shadows, his narthecium hissing as he moves to cauterize the worst of the wounds. The chaplain looks at the head. He looks at the broken marine. He sees the wounds, he sees the exhaustion, but he no longer sees the fear. It has been scoured. Chaplain, you were given a task of penance. You have paid it with the blood of the Xenos. The chapter's honor is satisfied. He gestures. 2 neophytes rush forward carrying stencils and pots of the raptor's signature green paint. As the apothecary injects painkillers, the neophytes begin the ritual of repainting the chapter symbol on Valerius's one intact pauldron. Chaplain, You are Brother Valerius once more. Your sin is washed. Rejoin your brothers." The heraldry was restored. The armor would be repaired. His place in the squad was his again. But as Valerius looked at the fresh green paint, he knew the truth. The oath was renewed, but the scar on his soul, the memory of that failure, would remain. It was a cold reminder that for an Astartes the path back from shame is always and only through death. Ralphael Vox, calm authoritative fire and fade. Second squad, support the left flank. Do not let the gaunts encircle us. We are the angel's wrath. We are. He pauses. His sword lowers for a fraction of a second. A large Tyrannid warrior, its bone scythes dripping, charges him. Ralphael's auto-senses register the threat. He does not react. His helmet's Vox feed, previously broadcasting tactical data, suddenly fills with a roar of static and a distant echoing scream. Voice in his head distorted, ancient, "Horus, Horus, Lupercal, traitor, why? For the sons of Sanguinius, there is a failure that transcends choice. It is not a failure of will, nor of discipline, nor of faith. It is a failure encoded in their very blood. A genetic curse, a psychic wound inherited from their angelic primarch at the moment of his death. It is the Black Rage. It is the end of everything a space marine is. The Tyrannid warrior's scythe comes down. Ralphael, in a burst of speed that is not tactical, but purely bestial, catches the blade in his bare gauntlet. The metal groans. Ralphael Vox no longer calm a ragged roar. You will not strike him down. I will not let you kill my father." His squadmates turn their helmets, tilting in confusion. Blood Angel Marine. 1 Vox Sergeant Ralphael. The objective. Ralphael blood for my... Blood for... Sanguinius. Ralphael drops his bolt gun. He hacks the Tyrannid warrior apart, not with precise, trained blows, but with savage, weeping, screaming chops. He is no longer fighting Xenos on an Imperial world. In his mind, he is on the vengeful spirit at the siege of Terra. The sky is black iron, and before him stands the arch-traitor Horus. He has fallen. He has broken his most sacred vow, the vow to remain sane, to master the flaw. His mind, his personality, his 2 centuries of service, all have been erased, consumed by a 10,000-year-old memory of betrayal. He is lost. He has failed. The battle ends. The Tyrannids are repulsed. Ralphael is found huddled over the corpse of the Tyrannid warrior, weeping blood tears and whispering the name of his primarch. He is restrained by his own brothers, his armor chained and brought back to the strike cruiser in silence. The scene shifts. A dark, vaulted chamber. The Reclusium. Ralphael is kneeling but not in prayer. He is held fast by massive iron clamps. His red armor, once a symbol of honor, is scarred. Before him stands a chaplain, but his armor is also black, adorned with the symbols of death and redemption. This is Astaroth, the grim, the redeemer of the lost. Astaroth voice, a sad resonant bass brother Ralphael. Can you hear me? Ralphael head lolled, eyes wide and staring. He is coming. The War Master. We must warn... Astaroth, the War Master, is dead. The war is over. Your war at least is near its end. There is no judgment here. There is no anger, only an profound, ritualistic sorrow. This is not a punishment. It is a funeral. Astaroth raises a brush. Beside him a servitor holds a simple open pot of sanctified black paint. Astaroth, you swore an oath to control the rage. You have failed. But in the Emperor's mercy, even this failure has a purpose. The Emperor protects even his lost sons. Astaroth begins to paint. He paints over the brilliant red of the Blood Angels. He paints over the squad markings. He paints over the golden Imperial Aquila. Each stroke is a prayer of mourning. He covers the armor in the black of the void, the black of the grave. Ralphael does not resist. He merely shivers, lost in his waking nightmare. Finally, Astaroth takes a brush of red and paints a single raw X across the Marine's new black torso. A saltire. The mark of the damned. The mark of the Death Company. Astaroth, you are no longer Ralphael. You are a memory. You are an echo of our father's final agony. You are now and forever until your death one of the Death Company. The scene shatters into the chaos of a new battle. A charge so hopeless that not even Space Marines are expected to survive it. A tide of World Eaters chaos. Space Marines dedicated to Khorne roars across a field of corpses. The Death Company is not a unit. It is a weapon of last resort. An avalanche of pure, weaponized failure. A drop pod painted black slams into the earth directly in the center of the Chaos Horde. The doors blast open. Raphael, his eyes burning with a mad light, leaps out. He is joined by 24 other black-armored figures. They carry no ranged weapons. Only Chainsword's power fists and thunder hammers. Raphael vox a single, endless scream, Horus! He charges the World Eaters. He no longer feels pain. He no longer knows tactics. He is the Black Rage incarnate. He sees every 8-pointed star as the Eye of Horus, every screaming traitor as the War Master himself. His failure to control his genocide has made him the ultimate instrument of his chapter's vengeance. He is a dead man given one last terrible purpose. He tears a berserker in half, his power fist running red. He is shot, stabbed, blasted, and he does not stop. He will not stop until his body is utterly destroyed and his soul finally finds peace at the Emperor's side. This is the fate of the Blood Angel who fails. His sin is not punished. It is unleashed. His personal damnation becomes the chapter's most tragic and most glorious weapon. Boreas vox a wet gurgle. The relic is lost. The aegis of Saint Celestine, taken. The demonic has breached the sanctum. There are failures that cost lives. There are failures that cost battles. And then there are failures that cost souls. Captain Boreas was given one sacred oath to protect the Aegis, a relic of such power that its very presence held the warp at bay over this subsector. He and his company fought. They died, but in the end he failed. The relic was taken by a word-bearer's warband, and the resulting psychic shockwave of its desecration instantly snuffed out the souls of the planet's 12 billion inhabitants. Boreas coughs a spray of blood hitting his cracked visor. He reaches for the bolt pistol on his hip. His gauntlet trembles. Boreas to himself, the Emperor's peace. It is all that is left. Atonement. His fingers wrap around the grip. He lifts the heavy pistol, the barrel wavering as he tries to bring it to his own temple. He has failed his oath. He has failed his chapter. He has failed an entire world. He seeks the only honorable end left. He seeks death, the final forgiveness. But his chapter has decided his failure is too great to be erased so simply. The heavy hydraulic stomp of an apothecary in Terminator armor, accompanied by the whirring of servos. The apothecary brother Korbul does not speak. He simply seizes Boreas's pistol hand, his augmented strength, crushing the captain's grip. He takes the gun and holsters it. Boreas weakly eyes wide with horror. No, brother, let me. I have failed. Grant me the peace. Apothecary Korbul vox, cold synthetic. The chapter master has forbidden it. Your failure is too vast for such a simple penance. Your wounds are mortal, but your service is not yet concluded. The apothecary injects Boreas with a massive dose of cryostimulant. The captain screams as his dying nerves are set alight, his body artificially preserved in its last agonizing moments. Tech Marines, their red armor dark with soot, move in with a life support capsule. They begin the brutal invasive work of extricating what is left of the captain from his armor, his protests dissolving into muffled agony. He was denied the oblivion he craved. His value as a tactical asset, his centuries of experience, was deemed greater than his right to atonement. He was not given a warrior's death. He was salvaged. The scene shifts. A deep, resonant hum, the sound of amniotic fluid being drained. A sudden cold rush of air. Then light. A slit of red holographic light in the darkness. Captain Boreas awakens. He cannot feel his limbs. He cannot feel anything. He is a torso, a head, and a portion of a lung suspended in a biomechanical womb of adamantium and steel. He is wired, plugged, fused to the machine. Boreas' voice no longer a gurgle but a dry artificial rasp, broadcast by a Vox speaker. Where? What? Is this Liv. A Tech Marine's voice disembodied speaks over an external comms unit. Tech Marine Vox, you are interred. The sarcophagus is stable. Your new body awaits venerable. With a colossal groan of pistons, the sarcophagus is lifted and slammed into the chassis of a dreadnought. The front plate seals shut. Boreas's view slit is suddenly filled with targeting data. He feels 1,000 tons of steel and ceramite settle around his living core, moving as he wills it to move. He takes a step. The entire armory chamber shakes. Boreas roaring his voice a metallic bass that shakes the very walls. No, this is not. This is not service. This is a cage I failed I deserve. Death, but there is no one to answer. He is alone, encased in a walking tomb. This is his new existence. His failure is now his prison. He is immortal, but he is trapped, floating in nutrient slime, sustained only by the machine. The slam of a drop pod door. Boreas is being deployed. His dreadnought chassis is covered in purity seals, but they are not seals of honor. They are seals of obligation, reminding him of his debt, his new oath. Boreas vox a low monologue of hate and shame. They will not let me die. They will not let me forget. I wake to fight. I fight to remember. I remember the Aegis. I remember the screaming, the 12 billion souls, my failure. His assault cannon spins up a terrifying whine of electric motors. He is facing a horde of orcs. Boreas, even in death, I still serve. And I still remember. I am Boreas, the failed, the eternal. And I will grind this galaxy to dust until my penance is, finally, complete. His body was broken. His spirit was denied release. His failure is now his eternity. A waking nightmare from which he can only be released by a destruction so total that not even the apothecaries can salvage his living husk. This is the fate of the one who fails so catastrophically that his chapter refuses to let him rest. Aryan Vox Crackling Squad Fire Drake report. Brother Sergeant, does anyone copy Vox channel is dead. He stands a lone green figure in a cityscape of absolute grey. He scans the plaza. The battle against the Night Lord's warband had been a catastrophic ambush. They had used the city's own infrastructure as a trap, collapsing 3 habitation spires onto the Salamander's position. Aryan had been on the perimeter, thrown clear by the first blast. His brothers were at the center. He was the only one, the sole survivor. He began to dig his transhuman strength, tearing at the mountain of steel and stone. He dug for 9 hours long after his sensors told him there was no life to be found. He found them. What was left? Sergeant Vakor crushed in his Terminator armor. Brother Havet, his flamer's tank, detonated, erasing him. The others, unrecognizable. He had failed the first and most sacred oath of his chapter, protect your brothers. Aryan's helmet Vox picks up his own breathing. It is ragged, harsh. He looks at his hands covered in the dust of his brothers' tombs. But his true sin, the one that coiled in his gut, was not that he had failed to save them. It was that he had failed to die with them. A salamander endures, a salamander protects, but a salamander never ever leaves his brothers. In his mind, his survival was not a miracle. It was the ultimate evidence of his failure. He was alive while they were dead. This was an imbalance the universe could not correct. This was a stain that no ritual could cleanse. The scene dissolves. The cold, silent vacuum of deep space. We are in the cargo hold of a drifting, unregistered freighter. Aryan stands under a single flickering lumen strip. He is working. The sound is not of prayer, but of destruction. He holds a high-intensity industrial sandblaster, and he is systematically scouring his own armor. He could not go back. He could not return to Nocturne carrying the gene seed of a squad he had abandoned. He could not face the reclusium. His shame was not for a chaplain to judge. It was his and his alone. He would not give them the burden of condemning him, or the insult of forgiving him. He was a ghost, the high-pitched whine of the sand blaster. The brilliant Promethean green of his armor is blasted away molecule by molecule, revealing the grey ceramite beneath. He takes a blowtorch and melts the sculpted drake head of his chapter the icon of Vulcan from his pauldron. It drips to the floor a slag of molten honor. This is not a ritual of penance. This is an act of suicide. He is killing Brother Arian. When the green was gone, he took a bucket of crude, matte black engine paint. He did not paint with precision. He smeared it on with a rag covering every inch of his warplate. He was erasing his name. He was erasing his past. He was erasing his failure by erasing himself. He was no longer a salamander. He was no longer a brother. He was a black shield. A nameless walking void defined only by the sin he was trying to hide. The scene shifts. The metallic, sterile interior of a Deathwatch watch fortress. The air smells of alien oils and sanctified steel. Arian, now clad in his anonymous black armor, stands before a council of silver-armored Deathwatch veterans. His left arm has been repainted now, bearing the silver and black of the Deathwatch, his pauldron marked with the Eye of the Inquisition. Deathwatch Captain Vox Synthetic Cold, your petition to join the vigil is irregular. You carry no heraldry, you bear no name, you have no chapter to vouch for you. Arian Vox, a dead monotone. I have my armor. I have my bolter. I have my oath to the Emperor. I am here to kill the Xenos. Nothing else matters. The Deathwatch is the Imperium's gathering place for the lost. They are the legion of the dispossessed, the disgraced, and the sole survivors. They do not ask why a Marine's armor is black. They do not care for his past, his shame, or his motives. They ask only one question: can he kill? A new scene. A blur of combat. Arian the Black Shield is fighting alongside a mixed kill team of an Ultramarine, a Space Wolf, and a Dark Angel. They are deep in the bowels of a Necron tomb. The air crackles with emerald energy. Ultramarine Vox fall back. Lichguard on the ridge. We are overwhelmed, Brother Sergeant, we must fall back. Arian Vox calm as he steps forward. No. He charges the Lichguard alone. His chainsword roars. He is not fighting with the disciplined tactics of a space marine. He is fighting with the cold, empty fury of a man who has already died. He is not seeking victory, he is seeking an end. He is not on a penitent crusade to earn forgiveness. He has already judged himself, and his sentence is death. He joined the Deathwatch to find the death he was denied. He takes every suicide mission volunteers for every forlorn hope. He stands on the teleporter pad knowing the return signal may never come. He hunts the Patriarch in the dark alone. This is his penance. Not to be forgiven, but to be destroyed. His failure to die with his brothers will only be atoned for when he dies for the Imperium, nameless, forgotten, and utterly alone. And then there is the failure that cannot be redeemed by blood or by service. It is the sin of ultimate arrogance, the sin of believing you know better than your chapter, better than your oaths. This is the sin of Librarian Elian. Elian's eyes snap open. His mind has touched something. A nascent Genestealer cult, festering in the dark. But he sees more. He sees a pattern, a convergence of fate. He believes he sees a way to use the cult's own psychic beacon to draw in an Orc freebooter fleet, destroying both in a single, brilliant tactical masterstroke. It is a plan that is complex, dangerous, and relies entirely on his own unique psychic talents. It is also a plan that goes directly against Chapter Doctrine Purge the Xenos. Suffer no witch to live. Elian internal monologue. Voice tight with pride. They will not understand. The chaplain will see only heresy. The captain will see only risk. But I see victory. A victory they cannot achieve with their bolters and their simple litanies. I will handle this. My gift, my burden. I will save this world, and then they will see the true power of the Librarius. He filed his report. Minor Xenos Activity Sector Gamma 9, recommending a small surgical strike team. My team. He lied. a sin of omission, a sin of hubris. He took his 5-man squad into the Underhive not to purge, but to manipulate the Xenos threat. The scene shatters. The sound of 1,000 alien voices screaming as one. A psychic backlash. The Genestealer Patriarch, far stronger than Elian anticipated, turns the librarian's mental trap back on him. The beacon Elian tried to shape does not call the orcs. It rips open a hole in reality. A shrieking purple tear in the fabric of the hive. Squad Marine 1. Vox panicked. Librarian. What is this by the throne? Demons. Elian Vox a scream of agony. No, this was not the plan. The last transmission from Elian's squad is a chorus of psychic static bolter fire and a wet tearing sound as his brothers are consumed. The demonic breach now open destabilizes the entire Hive City's astropathic choir. 1,200 psychers die in a single cascading wave of agony, their minds blown out. The planet is cut off. The demonic incursion has begun. Elian was found alive but catatonic, his armor fused to the ground at the epicenter of the breach. His sin was now manifest, a planet in peril, a squad lost, a vital Imperial link severed. And his failure was absolute. The scene shifts, the solemn echoing quiet of the chapter's Hall of Judgment. A long table of black stone. The entire chapter command is present. The chapter master. The chief chaplain, his skull helm impassive. All 10 company captains. They are not in debate. They are in accord. Chapter master voice like gravel. The evidence is reviewed. The librarian Elian, in an act of ultimate hubris, broke his oath of obedience. He concealed a threat. He usurped the command of this chapter. He communed with the Xenos, believing his mind superior to our doctrine. Chief chaplain voice cold metallic. His arrogance has cost us his squad, the astropathic choir, and the sanctity of an imperial world. The breach is contained for now at the cost of 3 Terminator squads and the Spear of Argus. He is guilty. Chapter Master. He is not a traitor. His logs show he never sought the favor of chaos. His mind is clean of that final taint. He is guilty of something simpler, and in many ways more insulting. He is guilty of pride. He believed he was greater than his brothers. He has failed. The judgment is unanimous. The chapter master slams a heavy, gauntleted fist onto the stone table. The sound is final. A death knell. Chapter master to check the Emperor's peace. The final scene. A small, sterile chamber deep in the Reclusiam. Librarian Elian, his body healed by the apothecaries, kneels on the floor. His psychic hood is gone. His armor is bare, stripped of all insignia. He is lucid. He understands. The chief chaplain stands before him, holding a single master-crafted bolt pistol. Its barrel is inscribed with the litany of passing. Chief chaplain Brother Elian, you swore to serve, you swore to obey, you failed. Your pride has cost the blood of your brothers and the souls of this world. There is no penance for this. There is no crusade that can wash this stain. There is only the end. Elian voice empty, broken. I accept the judgment. This is not an execution born of anger. It is a ritual of profound sadness, a necessary excision. The chapter is a body, and Elian is a gangrenous limb that must be severed cleanly, lest his sin of pride infect the rest. This is the last honor they can pay him, a death by a brother's hand, not a headsman's axe. Chief Chaplain, you were a hero of this chapter. Your name was etched in glory. Now it will be struck from the rolls. You will be forgotten. This is the true price of your failure. Receive the Emperor's peace. The chaplain raises the pistol. He presses the cold muzzle to the center of Elian's forehead, where his psychic third eye would be. Elian closes his eyes. He does not tremble. Chief Chaplain, the Emperor protects. A single deafening percussive blam. The report echoes in the small room, then fades into absolute, sterile silence. The chaplain holsters his weapon, the smoke curling from its barrel. The failure is absolute. The judgment is complete. This is how true damnation begins. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. Not with a grand act of betrayal, but with the slow, grinding erosion of faith. This is the path from failure to heresy. And it begins with bitterness. Kale recalibrates the targeting for his heavy bolter. For the 4th time this week, the ammunition dispatch has sent the wrong caliber shells. His squad, the Ironbreakers, have been holding this trench for 9 months, eating nutrient paste recycled from the dead-breathing toxic fumes. Kyle himself designed the counter-offensive that could have broken the siege 6 months ago. A precise, brutal plan of armored assault. Kale vox a low growl to his sergeant. 9 months. 9 months we have held this worthless ditch. My plan was sound. Sergeant Vox weary. The Lord Inquisitor deemed it unnecessarily risky. We hold, Brother Kyle. That is the oath. We hold. Kale, we rot. The Inquisitor sits in his spire clean and safe while we rot. Look. He points with his gauntlet. A trio of custodes, their golden armor immaculate, walks past the trench, their spears held high. They do not even glance at the Astartes caked in filth. They guard his person while we guard his mistakes. Brother Kyle has never failed. He has obeyed every order. He has held every line. He has sworn every oath and kept it. But he has been failed. He feels the cold, creeping bitterness of the unappreciated servant. His genius is ignored. His sacrifice is taken for granted. He is a master artisan being used as a crude hammer. His loyalty, once a fortress, is developing a hairline crack. The scene shifts. A night attack. The enemy traitor guard regiments swarm the trench. Kale's bolter is useless. He is fighting with his combat knife and his fists. He is exhausted. His armor's joints are stiff with rust. He takes a last charge to the chest that sends him reeling, his systems screaming. He is overwhelmed. He is dying. His squad is being butchered. He calls for reserves. The Vox crackles with the voice of the Inquisitor's adjutant. Adjutant Vox, calm, distant, negative brother Kyle. The reserves are committed to the defense of the primary sanctum. You are expendable. Hold the line to your last man. The Emperor protects. The Vox clicks off. Kale is alone, a traitor guardsman raising a bayonet to his unprotected throat seal. Kale a snarl not of faith but of pure rage. No, I will not die for him. He is about to be struck down. And in that final desperate second, in the cold, dark silence where the Emperor's guidance should be, something else answers. Whisper voiceless in Kale's mind, smooth as oil. He is right. You are expendable. To them. To the corpse god. Time seems to slow. Kyle looks at the guardsman. Whisper, you are a tool, and they are incompetent masters. They do not deserve your loyalty. You have given them everything. What have they given you? Filth, ignorance, death. Is this your reward? Kale internal a whimper. Who? What are you? Whisper, I am the truth. I am the answer. You are stone. You are iron. You are meant to build, not to rot. They have failed you. Show them. Show them what true strength is, Kyle roars. But it is not a war cry of the Imperium. It is a scream of pure, undiluted bitterness. He catches the guardsman's arm. He breaks it. He seizes the man's weapon and impales him, and as he stands, he feels a new, cold strength flowing into his weary limbs. He looks up at the Inquisitor's spire, his red eye lenses burning with a new, terrible light. He has not fallen. Not yet. But he has listened. The first seed of doubt has been planted. He has broken no oath, but he is questioning why he swore them. The eye of doubt has opened. And from this single festering wound of bitterness, the full-scale infection of heresy will inevitably bloom. Failure on an individual scale is a matter for the chaplain. Failure on a chapter-wide scale, that is a matter for the Inquisition. When a Space Marine chapter, an entire brotherhood of 1,000 demigods, begins to fail, when its strategic record becomes questionable, its tithes are late, or its adherence to doctrine wavers by a single heretical degree, then the masters of the Imperium take notice. This is not a visit from an ally. It is an audit of the soul, and the auditors have arrived. The main hangar bay of the fortress monastery. The chapter master, a giant in rune-etched Terminator armor, stands at attention. He is flanked by his honor guard. They are the masters of this fortress, kings in their own domain. And yet they wait. They wait for 3 hours, a calculated insult before the cruiser's shuttle descends. The ramp lowers not with a host of warriors, but with a single unassuming figure. An old man, draped in the black robes of the Ordo Hereticus, his face a web of ancient scars. This is Inquisitor Varus. His only guards are 2 gene-bulked crusaders, their power mauls humming, and a single silent servitor carrying his data slate. Inquisitor Varus' voice dry like rustling parchment. Chapter. Master Valdor, you have been difficult to reach. Chapter Master Valdor Vox, a low rumble. Lord Inquisitor, we were prosecuting the war in the Scylla deeps. Had we known of your arrival, we would have... Varus, you would have prepared, you would have polished your litanies, you would have hidden your deviations. I prefer the raw truth. Let us walk. They walk the great halls of the monastery. It is an interrogation in motion. Varus does not look at the trophies of war. He does not look at the statues of the Primarch. He looks at the details. He points his staff at a devotional text carved into the wall. Varus, this passage. The Emperor's light is a guide to the righteous mind. An interesting interpretation. The Lectitio Divinatus states, his light is a fire that scours the unrighteous. Your version suggests a conversation, a partnership. The Emperor does not partner chapter master, he commands. Valdor, it is an ancient verse, Lord, a relic of our founding. It is meant to inspire, not to debate. Our chaplains ensure all Marines are pure in their devotion. Varus, he stops. He turns his augmented eyes whirring as they focus. Do they? Your operational record for the last solar decade shows anomalies. The purification of Xylo's moon, you rescued the civilian population before purging the alien. A strategically baffling and sentimental choice. The siege of Hell's Anvil, you refused aid from the Sisters of Battle, citing doctrinal differences. And the Kalidas assassin assigned to your command post disappeared. Valdor, the people of Xylo were vital tithes. The Sisters of Battle were compromising our fire lines. The assassin was lost in the chaos of battle. Varus, a cold, thin smile. So many convenient losses. So many unique interpretations. Your chapter has become arrogant. You believe your isolation has made you pure. I am here to tell you that isolation is how heresy festers. You have failed to police yourselves. You have failed to see the rot in your own foundations. This is the moment. The judgment. The chapter master clenches his power fist. He could annihilate this old man in a microsecond, but he cannot. The Inquisitor wields an authority that makes even an Astartes chapter master kneel. Valdor, we are loyal. What would you have of us? Varus' loyalty must be tested. Faith must be renewed in fire. The word excommunicate is hovering on my lips, Valdor. I am considering it, but I am also merciful. I will give your chapter a path, a chance to prove this loy of yours. The Inquisitor's servitor offers him the data slate. He taps a single rune. Varus the 13th. Penitent Crusade is being mustered. It is a war zone so hopeless that the High Lords will not even waste guard regiments on it. It is a meat grinder, a test of faith for the damned. You will commit a tithe, not of neophytes, not of your reserves. You will commit your entire 3rd and 5th companies. They will be placed under the command of my colleague, Lord Inquisitor Torquemada. He will burn the weakness from them. It is a death sentence for 200 of his best warriors. A sundering. He is being ordered to cut off his own limbs to prove he is not sick. The chapter master has no choice. To refuse is to declare war on the Inquisition itself, a war he cannot win. He has failed to maintain the illusion of purity, and for this his chapter will be bled white. Valdor voiced dead empty. We will obey. The tithe will be prepared. The Inquisitor has won. He has broken the chapter's pride and reinforced his own authority, all without firing a single shot. The chapter as a whole has failed its oath of perfect obedience to the wider Imperium, and its punishment is decimation. Lord Proctor Vox, simultaneously on 1,000 worlds, let it be known by all loyal subjects of the Divine Emperor. The chapter known as the Celestial Lions, having refused righteous audit, having consorted with the questionable, and having shown malignant pride in the face of inquisitorial decree, is hereby declared excommunicate traitoris. Their oaths are void, their loyalty is forfeit, their souls are damned, their fortress monastery is to be cleansed, their name is to be struck from all records, by order of the Holy Orders of the Inquisition, the Emperor judges. This is the final irreversible failure. The Celestial Lions, a proud chapter, had dared to question the Inquisition's methods. They had demanded justice for their fallen brothers, who they claimed were murdered not by orcs, but by an inquisitorial assassin. For this, for daring to seek truth, they were declared heretics. The Imperium in its paranoia had turned on itself. In orbit above the Celestial Lion's homeworld, a fleet of brutal gunmetal grey strike cruisers appears, exiting the warp without ceremony. Their hulls are unmarked save for the bronze bull-headed sigil of the Minotaurs, chapter the Inquisition's personal savage attack dogs. There was no trial, there was no appeal, there was only the sentence and its immediate execution. The Purge. The sky above the fortress monastery is torn apart by a lance strike barrage. The void shields designed to repel Xenos filth shimmer and collapse under the precise, overwhelming firepower of fellow Astartes. Drop pods painted a dull, vindictive bronze scream through the atmosphere. They are not aimed at strategic points. They are aimed at the heart. They crash land directly into the Reclusium, the Apothecarian, and the Central Barracks. The attack is not a siege. It is an extermination. Celestial Lion Sergeant Vox choked with disbelief. They are Astartes, brothers. Why are they firing? A boarding torpedo smashes through the hangar bay. The doors blast open and the Minotaurs charge. They are silent. They do not shout war cries. They do not offer terms. They fight with a cold, systematic brutality, their bolters firing in perfect, disciplined volleys. A Celestial Lion raises his hands, his bolt gun lowered. Celestial Lion, brother, stop, we are loyal, we are... He is cut down by 3 bolt shells to the chest. The sound of Space Marine fighting. Space Marine is a particular kind of hell. It is the sound of adamantium shattering adamantium, of promises breaking, of a fraternity tearing itself apart. The Celestial Lions, outnumbered and reeling from the betrayal, fight back with the desperation of the damned. But they are fighting not for victory, only for survival. The battle lasted 7 hours. 7 hours of fratricide. The glorious halls once hung with trophies were slick with the commingled blood of loyal Astartes. The Minotaurs were relentless, efficient, and utterly without mercy. They were the fist of the Inquisition, and they were cleansing the heresy. The scene shifts. A single battered Thunderhawk, its hull scorched and punctured, screams away from the burning planet. Inside, there are only 20 Marines, 20 survivors from a chapter of 1,000. Their armor is broken. Their faces revealed by shattered helmets are masks of numb horror. They have escaped. They have survived. But they have lost everything. Surviving Captain voice. A hoarse whisper. Where do we go? Surviving Marine to the Segmentum Command, to Terra. We will appeal. We will tell them the truth. The captain activates the long-range Vox. He sends the highest priority signal, Astartes coded Primus, requesting aid. We are loyal. We are under attack by... The reply is instantaneous. It is not a voice. It is a targeting lock. A naval patrol ships he had fought alongside just last year now designated him as enemy. Alarms blare in the Thunderhawk's cockpit. The captain watches as the Imperial Navy cruisers turn to intercept. There is no appeal. There is no truth. There is only the declaration. Captain voice dead empty. No way back. There is no way back. They were hunters, and now they are the hunted. Their oaths to the Imperium were violently, unilaterally dissolved by the very masters they swore to serve. They are homeless. They are nameless. They are traitors not by choice, but by decree. Their failure was not one of arms or faith, but of politics. They failed to bow, and so they were broken. And in the dark void with the Imperium's guns behind them, there is only one terrible direction left to turn. Inquisitor voice cold smug. Your sector has fallen. Your failure of faith. Brother Kyle, your inability to simply obey and hold the line has allowed this breach. Your bitterness was a weakness, a vulnerability. It has cost us this world. Kale Vox, a low, dangerous rumble. My sector fell because you are an arrogant fool. You sacrificed my men, my expertise, for your own pride. This failure is yours. The chaplain steps forward, his skull helm impassive. He raises a master-crafted bolt pistol identical to the one that ended Librarian Elian. Chaplain, you have been found guilty of insubordination and spiritual weakness, leading to catastrophic failure. You have succumbed to bitterness, the root of all heresy. The sentence is the Emperor's peace. This is the breaking point, the final injustice. He had served, he had obeyed, he had endured, he had watched his brothers die for the incompetence of his masters. He had swallowed his pride, his genius, his rage, and now he was to be executed. By them, for their failure. His oaths, which he had kept so perfectly, had betrayed him. The chaplain places the pistol to Kyle's forehead. Kyle is on his knees, his head bowed. His body is trembling not with fear, but with a rage so profound it is becoming a physical, seismic force. Whisper in his mind, loud, triumphant, yes. This is your reward. This is the gratitude of the corpse god. A bullet from a fool. Will you die for their lie, or will you live for your own truth? Kale internal, a scream. They will not take my life. Kale's head snaps up. His eyes, visible through his cracked visor, are burning with a new, unholy light. He stares past the chaplain at the Inquisitor. Kale Vox, a roaring shout, I will not. The chaplain pulls the trigger. The click is deafeningly loud. The gun has jammed. The machine spirit, sensing the shift, has refused. And in that one impossible second of failure, Kale makes his choice. He screams his final prayer, his ultimate blasphemy. He does not scream to the Emperor, the god who abandoned him. He screams into the void to the dark power that had offered him truth. Kale voice distorted, ripping. I am yours. Whoever you are, I am yours. Give me vengeance. Give me the strength to tear down this rotten lie. A wave of invisible kinetic force explodes from Kale. The sound is not a noise, but a non-sound, a pressure wave of pure hate. The chamber's lights explode in a shower of sparks. The chaplain is thrown backward. The Inquisitor is slammed against the far wall. The warp answers. It floods into the vessel that has finally opened itself. It is a torrent of blood-red and brass-colored energy. It is the blessing of Khorne, the god of rage of war and of martial pride betrayed. Kyle's chains shatter, exploding outward. His armor groans, the metal plates twisting and warping. The rust is burned away, replaced by jagged, barbed runes of brass that carve themselves into the steel. His armor, once gray, flashes to a deep, visceral crimson. His helmet's eye lenses shatter, replaced by two pits of burning, molten fire. He rises, no longer a space marine, but something more, something terrible. Kale voice now a demonic duet of his own, and something else I see now. The chaplain, recovering, ignites his Crozius and charges, roaring a litany of purging. Chaplain die abominationly. Kale catches the crackling power maul by the haft. His grip is so strong the adamantium groans. The energy field gutters and dies against his bare, superheated gauntlet. With his other hand he seizes the chaplain by the throat lifting the black-armored giant from his feet. "Kael, your litanies are hollow. Your god is dead." He crushes the chaplain's throat, the sound of splintering ceramite and bone. He throws the body aside like trash. He turns to the cowering inquisitor. He has broken his oath to the emperor. He has broken his oath to his chapter. He has broken the last chain, and he has found a new, terrible, glorious freedom. He did not fall. He was pushed. He did not break. He was reforged. He is Kyle the betrayed, and his long war has just begun. And so the paths of the damned are laid bare. In the final calculus of the 41st millennium, there is no simple binary of success or failure. There is only the long, agonizing spectrum of guilt and the varied, terrible sentences it demands. We have followed the fissures in the adamantium, and we have seen where they lead. None lead to peace. What became of them, these broken angels? The penitent brother Valerius, who washed his 1.3 seconds of cowardice in the blood of a war boss, his name was restored. His armor was repainted. But his brothers now watch him. They see the fanaticism in his eyes, the recklessness with which he seeks combat. He is no longer a warrior. He is an addict forever chasing the absolution he can never truly feel. He will die, not a hero's death, but an anonymous one on some forgotten moon. His last act, a desperate attempt to prove he is not the coward he knows he was. His soul is not saved. It is merely postponed. The madman brother Raphael, who succumbed to the Black Rage. His glorious final charge was recorded in the chapter's annals. A footnote of tragic, useful fury. He died believing he was fighting the arch-traitor, his mind a ruin. His chapter used his failure as a weapon, a blunt instrument of genetic rage. His death was not a sacrifice, it was an expenditure. His memory is honored, but his soul was a casualty long before his body was torn apart. He found no peace, only an agonizing, deluded end. The eternally bound Captain Boreas, who failed to protect the Aegis he still serves. His dreadnought chassis is a fixture in the chapter's line of battle, a walking monument to victory. But every 1,000 years, when the Tech Marines wake him from his restless sleep, his first word is always the same. No. He is a conscious ghost in a steel coffin, his failure, his only companion in the long, dark sleep. He is immortal, and his prison is his immortality. His penance is to live forever with the one memory he would give anything to forget. The outcast brother Orion, the Black Shield who survived his squad. He found his new home in the Death Watch, hunting the alien in the darkest corners of the galaxy. He is a phantom, a name struck from his own memory. He hunts, he kills, he endures. He seeks the death he was denied, but his Astartes' skill and his burning shame make him an unparalleled survivor. He is cursed to excel, to live, to continue his lonely, self-imposed exile, finding no honor, no brotherhood, and no end to his vigil. And the fallen, the heretic, Brother Kale. His new freedom is the most profound damnation of all. He escaped the Imperium's judgment only to be shackled by a far darker, more ancient power. He is now a slave to the very rage he once sought to control. He fights in the long war, a twisted reflection of the warrior he was. His bitterness a weapon, his strength a curse. He has become the thing, the very monster he swore his first forgotten oath to destroy. His failure was not an end, it was a metamorphosis. For an Adeptus Astartes, the oath is the soul. It is the wall that holds back the tide of barbarism of the alien, of the demon, and of the self. When that wall cracks, there is no rebuilding. There is only a grim, pragmatic, and merciless response. The Imperium does not and cannot forgive. To forgive is to show weakness. To show weakness is to invite damnation. And so the chapter moves on. Its strength is not in its heroes, but in its absolute refusal to tolerate its failures. The scene is the great Hall of Honor in a fortress monastery. It is silent, vast. A single chaplain, his skull helm emotionless, stands before a wall of black marble. The wall is covered in 10,000 names etched in gold leaf, the names of the chapter's honored dead. There is no trial for the coward, only a penitent crusade. There is no asylum for the mad, only the death company. There is no grave for the catastrophically failed, only the sarcophagus. There is no exile for the shamed, only the black armor of a black shield. And there is no mercy for the heretic. The chaplain holds a simple steel chisel and a hammer. He finds the name on the wall, Elian, the name of the librarian who was executed for his pride. He places the chisel's edge at the beginning of the name, and for the one who fails so completely that he is executed by his own brothers, for him there is the final death, the true death. The chaplain strikes the hammer. A sharp crack, a chip of gold and marble flies. He strikes again, crack, and again. He is not just marking the name, he is gouging it out. He is painstakingly, ritually, and permanently erasing the name from history. The sound is deliberate, cold, and final. His deeds are unwritten, his victories are forgotten, his sacrifices are rendered void. It is as if he never existed. This is the ultimate price. This is the only true end. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, to be a hero is a terrible burden, but to be a failure is a sentence without end.